to Heavy Metal Bake Sale. I'm Prairie Dog.
Special K.
Catfish.
This is the pick of the week. This is where we pick an album, we pick an artist and an album to start at for that artist. I'm going to go ahead and start out on this one, and I'm going to start out big. This is a band that I have, I'm a huge fan of, and they don't get any love anymore. So it's going to be Local H. So I'm going to pull out Local H, and this is As Good as Dead. This is not, in my opinion, not their best album, but if you have never heard Local H, this is a good starting point for you. This one, in my opinion, is a little immature musically and lyrically for them, but it's still very good and entertaining. Like, there's not a bad song on here. Well, some people may consider High Five Motherfucker to be a good or bad song, but I like the song. It's cool. So. Local H, to give you a little background on them, they're a band from Chicago, specifically Zion. It's like right outside of Chicago. They're a two-piece, which you don't see, rarely do you see a two-piece, and they sound like, almost a full set, like they sound like a three-piece.
Yeah.
And that's because Scott Lucas, the lead singer, has a very interesting way he plays his bass, or his guitar. He has his guitar's bass pickups on it, and it's weird. Check a rig right now at him, it's pretty cool.
It really is worth checking out.
They are known for their live shows. So I will say, if you're going to experience Local H, even if you're not interested in them, they tour constantly. They're doing a tour right now. They're going everywhere. I guarantee they're going to be near you at some point. So I'd highly recommend going and see them live. They're going to put on a blistering live show. Even with the two-piece, it's going to be great. And they're going to, they'll play for 2 or 3 hours. They'll play for 3 hours. And,
well, they've actually got a third person on this tour right now.
Actually, he dropped out.
Oh, did he?
Due to restraints. They're definitely old school in their setup, so I was recently watching some of their tours, and they don't have anything wireless. Their amps, their guitars, everything is old and dated, and they do things old school. Like Scott Lucas is tripping over wires and stuff on stage. It's cool to see because everything's so modern nowadays. You don't get to see any of that. But back on the album, there's a song on here that everybody has heard of, and when I say the name, you're not going to know what I'm talking about. The song's called "Bound to the Floor." The main lyric line is, "You just don't get it, keep it copacetic." That song, everybody knows that song. So that's their main hit.
It's on every
It is easily the weakest song on this album, and it pains me that they got famous for that song because they are so better than that. That song's very repetitive, but it's super catchy. Like it's instantly recognizable, but nobody knows who sings it. So they have a big discography. If you want to get into Local H, start out with As Good as Dead. But then I would definitely check out their newest album, Hey Killer. I think they've matured lyrically, instrumentally. It's amazing. And they do have a different drummer now than what they originally had due to issues. But they've went through a few drummers. But really, it's really Scott Lucas at this point.
Right.
Another track that I recommend is Eddie Vedder, Nothing Special. And then my personal favorite is Okay. It almost sounds like a Weezer song a little bit. Great song. So what's your pick, Prairie Dog?
First up, Props. I have listened to that album. It is a really solid offering. Mine's going to kind of take it into a different direction, so I'm a really big fan of technical death metal. And if you are too, I think you should check out the band Beyond Creation. They're a Canadian group, and they're kind of in that like Persephone sort of genre of technical death metal where it's got almost like a spiritual, like you want to, makes you think kind of quality. They use 8-string guitars, which is maybe not as special as now as it was when this album came out, but it's very interesting. And the album it doesn't stop. I think it's about 10 tracks, and they're all just great. If you're going to check out key tracks, definitely look at Omnipresent Perception. That was the single off the album, and No Request for the Corrupted. The title track, The Aura. The album's The Aura, by the way. I should have started with that. The title track, The Aura, is phenomenal. The bassist for this band used a 6-string fretless bass, and it just adds such an alien tonal quality. It's definitely worth checking out.
Interesting. I'll have to check that one out.
No, you won't check it out.
You won't like it.
I mean,
I'll check it out.
I'm trying, guys. I'm trying.
I like technical death metal. I'm not going to be in the mood for it, though.
Yeah, the vocals are definitely a barrier if you're not into harsh vocals, but instrumentally it's phenomenal.
He said the word death metal. You should instantly know that you're not going to be into it.
Man,
Yeah.
At least I'm trying. At least I'm trying.
Everybody likes Local H here, so that's cool.
Now, for my pick,
I'm curious.
we're throwing it back to 1979, an album that I grew up with because my mother was a really big fan of disco music.
Oh,
We are talking about Voulez-Vous by ABBA.
really?
Great album, top to bottom. Got some of their bigger
just
hits.
Did that.
All right.
It's funny that you mention ABBA because Scott Lucas loves ABBA. Like,
Really?
Yeah.
What's not to love about ABBA? They've got.
He's done. He did like he ran. I saw a video of him ranting about ABBA for like a while. So that was interesting.
Notable tracks on it are the title track Voulez-Vous. It's a pretty fun dance track. One of their more famous songs.
Dance
is also-
music. You look like a dancer.
You know,
You have the legs of a dancer. That's for sure.
I'm all about it. One of their more famous hits, Gimme, 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 A Man After Midnight. Great song by ABBA. Special K, you laugh now.
I'm not dissing ABBA.
Listen
I'm
to
just
it. Listen to it again.
The title is great.
The bass goes so hard in Gimme, 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 A Man After Midnight.
Well, I listen to everybody's music when I put these videos up. So
Like the bass goes so hard. You get that funky bass line that you're only getting from like disco and funk music in the 70s, and it's great. My girlfriend recently made me watch Mamma Mia, and it got me reintroduced. I'm like, wait a minute, I grew up on ABBA because my mom was such a big disco fan. You know, it was ABBA and Aerosmith. And, that was my growing up. Casey and the Sunshine Band was real big in my household. But
better than what I had to grow up with.
But I was like, hey.
I grew up with Oasis. It was a
Lucky
strange
you.
upbringing.
Oasis is not bad.
No, it wasn't bad.
My
but I
kids
couldn't
could be brought
relate.
up correctly.
Yeah,
Anyway, here's Wonderwall.
yeah. I knew Oasis and Wonderwall, but I had never heard AC/DC until I was 14.
Wow.
So yeah, I couldn't relate to my low end upbringing.
Garth Brooks, George Strait. Yeah,
But-
all the country. Anyway,
Yeah.
But anyway, it's a pretty fun album. Again, I grew up with it, so when I was younger, I was like, oh, that's fun. But now that I'm older, I have a little bit more respect for the actual musical side of it, which I never noticed, like, how fun the bass line is for Gimme, 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 A Man After Midnight.
man, I just love hearing that out of your
Yeah.
mouth.
Yeah.
Like it's wonderful.
I love ABBA. I
We
think
are
they're
after
great.
midnight, dude. It's 2 a.m, so you can go.
Give me a man.
Yeah, get you a man.
Someone get me a man immediately.
All right,
That's
so these are some great picks. This is one of my favorite, honestly, pick of the week. So I'm gonna check out. I'm sure I probably heard that song before, but
Oh,
I'm
you
gonna,
definitely have.
I'm gonna check out everybody's picks. You guys should check out our picks. I'll put a link in the description below out of everybody's picks. Let us know who do you think had the best pick this week, and we will make fun of each other for the loser.
We do. We take this really seriously.
We do. We honestly do. Like, Prairie Dog won the last one, so he's been like basking in that glory.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I was for sure he wasn't going to win. And then my pick didn't even do well at all. To be fair, mine was very obscure. So.
Yeah,
I did get some Jacket Love. Was pretty.
Yeah, you did.
That one.
That's what I'm saying. I lost that one. So
I threw a Ray Shrimmer album out there. I'm pretty sure
you
that
got
was like
made
a
fun.
weekly
You got made
forfeit.
fun of that one. Yeah.
That was
yeah.
a weekly forfeit.
All right. Well, that's been our episode. Something you like to see on the channel, leave a comment down below. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. I'm Special K.
I'm Prairie Dog.
And I'm Catfish.
Thanks for watching.